Hi, welcome to the session Internal Audit and IT OT Cybersecurity Program, highlighting some challenges and suggested approach for internal audit teams. This is Securing Things by Mohammad Yusuf. In this session, we are going to be specifically addressing internal audit teams or internal auditors, those that are working at an asset owner organization, whether it's industrial manufacturing and or any other critical infrastructure. And our task to conduct audit activities, not only on IT infrastructure or operations, but also on OT or ICS or production control network environments as well. Internal audit teams are now being challenged to keep a rigorous view on OT security program activities as well, in addition to the IT security activities and other technology-based programs within the environment. In many cases, audit teams may not be familiar with or skilled in understanding the risk across OT environments, so they may rely completely on either their internal counterparts, for example, the CIO or CISO organization, and or external auditors, for example, specialist consulting firms, to help with an independent view on the current state and maturity of these programs. While that is important and totally fine, audit teams should also be equipping themselves to build some internal skill set and capabilities on understanding IT OT cybersecurity risk and be able to digest views presented by internal or external stakeholders to form their own audit opinions. So here are a few suggested approaches for the internal auditors. These are at a high level, which internal auditors can adapt to have a sound grasp in keeping tabs on IT and OT cybersecurity program activities across the business units or across the automation stack, both IT and OT. But this list is not exhaustive. The IT audit teams need to understand first the business vision and mission, their own department's mission and support for the business mission, what drives the business and what activities are critically important for its success. Understanding that is crucial. If you are working for a manufacturing environment, then a typical manufacturing workflow or life cycle for the business is critically important for you to get hold of in terms of your understanding. Know the key stakeholders across that manufacturing workflow. Also, you should understand how the org structure is established, like what are the organizational hierarchies and how the governance is structured within your organization. Then both on the IT and OT side, you should understand the key elements in the technology stack and business operations for the IT side and the production operations for the OT side. So having base level understanding across these is going to be critically important for you to form your audit opinions. You need to also know what local or regional or regulatory or global regulatory frameworks or compliance requirements is applicable for your business that the business need to comply with. Digital strategy for the business is also crucial. If the business have a documented one in the first place, if none exist, highlight that as a potential risk for your environment. Then you make sure that whether the organization have IT OT cybersecurity strategy defined. If none is defined, highlight that as a potential issue, because then it's probably like firefighting situation where the technical teams are just fighting fires in order to address one issue after the other. You also need to know if there is any joint IT OT cybersecurity committee or steering committee structure, and either get the steering co regular updates and or be a participant yourself, depending on the org culture. If no such joint committee in place, highlight that as a potential problem also. Need to understand whether your organization have a cybersecurity program or roadmap? Typically, it's a 1 to 3 year plan, if there is any, and it's alignment with the business mission. So, as part of your audit process, you need to understand whether they are aligned with the business mission as well. You need to understand if there is any ISMS for IT in place or security program for OT in place. If the business has none and there are no other frameworks being utilized, then highlight that as a potential problem or a risk. Make sure that IT and OT or production control network systems from the enterprise systems are segregated logically or physically. If there is no such separation, highlight this as a key high critical exposure and risk. Need to understand whether IT cybersecurity controls or OT cybersecurity controls that are in place have the ability to reduce risk for IT on the business or enterprise systems or operations, and on the OT on the production control systems or networks or operations. If none exist, either of these, highlight that as a potential problem on IT side or the OT side, whatever the case may be. You need to know whether there is any security solutions or control elements that provides visibility or visibility context across your production control network environments. For example, any OT IDS, network monitoring tool, or anomaly detection solutions being used. Ensure at least a foundational high level understanding of such a solution, its monitoring scope, any exclusion, its solution components, its architecture, and the capabilities or control function it provides. So having this base level of understanding will help you identify like whether any key risks have been missed and something that needs to be flagged for your technical team. Next is cybersecurity monitoring. So, in terms of cybersecurity monitoring, you likely would have within your organization some sort of an enterprise SIEM, SOC, local internal SOC service, security operations center service, or an outside service provider that's providing you that managed security services for your organization and monitoring your logs 24 by 7. So you need to see if the enterprise SIEM, SOC, or MSSP are ingesting logs both from your key IT assets and your OT assets as well. Or at least, if not on the OT side, then at least a OT IDS solution, firewall, any anomaly detection solution, one-way gateway, or any key security controls within your OT environment is also publishing logs to the same SIEM solution or a managed security service provider and are being monitored and responded by either a SOC or external MSSP. And if none of or any of this does not exist, highlight that as a potential problem. You also need to understand the monitoring use cases that are in place, any baseline created for the network traffic, any SOPs defined for handling alerts, and if there is none, highlight that also as a potential risk. You have to, as an internal audit team, develop your own internal checklists and requests for information to be asked from both IT side and OT side of the business. Also, any production and engineering teams to ensure a sound due diligence process in place by the audit team as an independent business unit on measuring these IT OT cybersecurity program effectiveness and risk, and ensure that the risks are being tracked. Anything missed by their own self-assessment from CIO CISO organization is picked by your audit team as well. Make sure you're keeping up to date with the latest developments within the business operation itself, overall within the industry, within your particular sector, any emerging tech and its use cases for your environment, any geopolitical or environmental risk that you should be familiar with or know about, should be considered as well. Attacks or threat groups targeting your specific industry sector in which your business operates is also going to be critically important, so that you can provide sound advice to the business. And last but not the least, keep routine checks per the defined audit frequency, whatever is agreed within the organization. In addition, perform spot checks during the year to take a proactive approach on identifying potential outlier scenarios and engage relevant teams for addressing them in a timely fashion. So I hope this helps providing a foundational approach an internal audit team can rely on to build its understanding and the ability to approach auditing cybersecurity programs, either IT or OT, and its activities across the business. So anything critical I have missed, anything additional you would like to add and you have included in your perhaps internal audit strategy that have helped you or your environment, then please let us know in the comments below. I hope this has been informative. Thank you very much. And do remember, it's a great day to start securing things. Bye.